Hello, hello, hello. I am here Saturday, December something. It is a very sunny afternoon. It's about 2:30, and I've been sort of in and out of here all day, watering a few things. Uh, but mostly just kind of making sure things are getting adequate moisture. My humidifiers are filled. My heater is still going, keeping things nice and toasty in here. I'm not sure what the temperature is. Don't have a thermometer over here. But hey, Todd. Not much new going on here. This is still going strong. Demi, huh? You don't like cold plants. Oh, Dimitri. I thought you were speaking Italian, Todd. I thought you were telling me to give you that plant. That's funny. This is still progressing very slowly. I know. I know that Todd wants one, and I know he speaks Italian. I know he was in Italy. This is trying to open. But not fully yet. But I can kind of see the colors in there if it would ever focus for me. This is, oh wow, more big huge plants, Todd. Wow. This is my epidendrum that's just opening up. It's this giant reed stem that's right here. It's got another spike on it down here. It's Epilalia lime drop crossed with that says, yeah, it's Epidendrum schomburgki. But yeah, looks like it's gonna be some pretty nice colors once it opens up, if I could ever. Pretty nice. I'm gonna have to do something, add some media to these. These are have fallen out of the pot, as well as my epiciliare, which is right here. I guess this is probably cold stylus, maybe. But it's got some new growths that are coming. I know that yeah, I figured you would get the reference. Since I realized that it was you, I'm pretty sure you speak Italian too. You probably speak just as much as many languages as Todd. So yeah, I need to add some media to some of these. I'm reluctant to add some to this pot because every time I add some to it, it kind of slows its growth, and it's in growth phase right now. So I'm kind of just leaving it alone and trying to give it some moisture. This one looked like it was suffering from a little bit of cold, so I moved it to where it would get a little more heat. I was thinking this was going to open up, but it's not yet. Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure. Chinese. This thing is still going strong. Not really a lot going on in here, honestly. really. There are things developing. I believe that's going to eventually develop into another flower on my upwind, which is another stinky thing. Yeah, that's pretty much. Spike is still developing on my little Rodriguezza right here, and the spike is still progressing over here on my Epigeneum. So that's pretty exciting. And I am having high hopes for this plant as well. My Enobulbon munificum has put up this really nice new growth. Yeah, the Epigeneum, I just got it a few weeks ago. But yeah, this is a holy grail orchid, I would say. Especially that one, Treacheryanum. Hopefully it will bloom. It's still, it came with a spike on it. And pardon my blue fingers, I've been painting. That's the little sheath on the butt of the spike. Which spike are you referring to? The Epigeneum? I think that there is a sheath down there that they bloom from. That's my feeling, is there's a sheath. Todd has probably bloomed one of these before because he's had one. Did yours produce a sheath? I'm not sure. This came with a sheath. This came with a spike, but it kind of looks like there's a sheath down in there. That kind of looks like a sheath. I'm not sure. But these used to be classified as dendrobium a long time ago, I think. Maybe. No, I'm thinking of this plant. It used to be a dendrobium. Sorry about that. Skip that. This has probably always been a... Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Todd probably knows. I am trial and error on that one. Can't tell you. All I can tell you is how to kill them, to be honest, to be quite frank, which is quite sad. Hate to say that. So yeah, got a new growth that's still peeking up out of here, which is almost a little too early. This is my Nemoria Walisi, the little brown thing. Little brown thing. Was it in spike? I'm not sure. Are you still talking about the Epigeneum? I guess. So, yeah, I'm gonna water this, give this a little bit of drink. This is my Alexandri, since it's got a little growth coming. And that's got a sheath in there, I'm hoping. But Champion Red Apple. Not really much to show, honestly. Trying to keep these alive. I just feel like they're so dehydrated, but actually there's a little growth, so maybe it'll be okay. So you have two Epigeneums. We will see how far they progressed for me. I've been able to keep them for maybe a year before they. Oh, nice. That's finally going away. Schomburg. Yeah. So yeah. I like the Nemoria. I tried to baby the plant and not disturb it too much. Where did I go? Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Wow. Nice, nice. Hey there, Shoesies. Speaking of Lelia, here's a little Lelia down here. And my Lelia anceps is still up there. I may move this. Which one are you talking about, Dimitri? Nemoria? I only have one of those. I only have one epigeneum. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, you're asking me my favorite species. Well, I am very partial to Angraecums, Angraecoids, but Angraecums specifically, I love those, and then I love Prosovolas next after that. I would say Prosovolas, I would say Angraecums, Prosovolas, then probably Dendrobiums. I, you know, I'm a purist, and so I do have species, but because I like the species, then if I am able to grow two species that I can get a hybrid of, then I will get the hybrid as well, just to have that. That's just how crazy the addiction is. So why not? If you can grow, if you can do both, grow two species and then get the hybrid, why not? You might as well. Might as well. Maybe you can get that to bloom as well. But yeah, I have a lot of Angraecums. I mean, I have, this is an Angraecum, this is an Angraecum. I have this one. I have Angraecums all over the place. Well, I am picky, I am picky. I am picky. The plants that are on my list have been on that list for a long time, and it's never really fluctuated from that list, to be honest. I mean, there are things coming out every day that I would like, but at this stage, it's got to be something very, 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 very special to catch my eye, honestly. Hang this back up. Actually, I'm just going to leave it in there because it needs it. Which is what happened with, well, they're not looking so good, but these hybrids, KS, Happy Eagle, Dragon Tree Eagle. I mean, I fell in love with those, and so I had to have them. And I got a few of them. There's KS, Happy Eagle over here. Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are, Todd. Mine do okay. They would prefer it to be a little warmer, I know. I know they would. My Didiri right here is, I've never been able to do anything with a Didiri, so, they told me to water it early in the morning. They said 6 a.m. in the morning and leave it mounted. You have to be picky, so I'm really expecting something about this too. This is my Dendrochilum glumiseum, and I noticed today that there are some new growths. And this plant generally blooms off of the new growths. So I need to give it a lot more water now, pretty much every day. And this one put up a new growth and I didn't even realize it. I'm not sure if that's going to get a bloom. I would probably be seeing the blooms already by now. But yeah, you can't have everything. You just can't have everything. And well, you know, you have to be selective. I'm not going to get a bigger greenhouse. I'm not going to be able to ever leave my things outside. So people that I don't know how anyone, I don't think anyone who has a collection of over 1,000 orchids does it by themselves. There's no way. There is no way. And I think my collection has gone down in numbers. I mean, a couple years ago I was saying 600, but it might be closer to 4 now, I think, and it might have been closer to 5 then. But there again, at that time, I had a lot of little seedlings, and I was doing the compote thing like an idiot. But I was also traveling a lot more and neglecting plants. This is just a little kiki that I pulled off, and this is Cola Stylus falcata. Yeah, Todd, you are insane. You are. It's almost like what is it? Every other video you're buying, you're getting, you're doing an unboxing. That's insane. That's insane. You're about as bad as Orchid Diva. I mean, I think she went to an orchid flea market the other day. But you know, it's like I can't imagine being on the orchid highway. I would be doing the same thing, and then I'd be going to my tent on the highway begging for money while my plants were sitting on the ground around me because I'd be homeless. Well, you know, it's a lot of work, but honestly, the winter break, for me, I totally welcome it. I totally enjoy not having to come out here every weekend and, you know, do the water thing and the fertilizer thing and make sure I dunk every single one of them. And, well, you know, I do. I have some house plants on the inside, but the only other plants that I pretty much grow are I have some succulents that are on another porch that is down there. You can kind of see it peeking out right there. That's another porch. That's where I used to grow my orchids. It was just a screened-in porch, but you can put the storm windows up, and then I just had some floor heaters, and, you know, it wasn't effective. You know, I killed a lot of well, I shouldn't say that. The place wasn't insulated, so I could never keep it warm enough in the wintertime, so it was just a waste. But over there I have, there's a few cactus that I have. I like angel's trumpets, so I have a couple of those that are in there. Mostly those plants that are in there are cuttings or just seeds that I've gathered from my trips abroad or just wherever that are kind of sentimental. Like I have a plant that flowered for me last year from seeds that I got from one year I was on Stromboli. So that was pretty nice. So it's stuff like that. Little plantlets that I take out of people's yards that happen to live by a train stop or something, and I like the plant, and I'll just take I do stuff like that. You know, I'm bad. But I can't do that anymore because there's a lot over there, and I have a lot in here, and I have a life. So, you know, you can't do it all. Not when you're old like me. I'm old. A few years ago, I was telling myself that I was winding down with orchids. Well, no, there's no such thing as Stromboli, and I was on the island, which was beautiful. So, but yeah, I've had plenty of Stromboli in my life. Well, yeah, babysitters only work if they have orchids. If they don't, then they water the orchids like they're a house plant. I don't think you can do that. I used to have a plant sitter that would come by and water, and no matter how many times I would tell them how to do it, I would come back from vacation and my plants would be sitting in saucers of water, literally. So they did a lot better without anyone doing anything. So benign neglect. Some of these should be doing something. Well, if you were here, you could be my orchid sitter. I would trust you. But yeah, there's really not much to see over here. The things that should be open are not opening yet. And well, but somebody asked me the temperature in here. This is the warmer section. Actually, it was Shoesie's. Okay, this is the warmer section, and I really couldn't tell you what my temperature is. These things, which I wouldn't trust, it says that the humidity is 80%. I don't know. My temperature gauge is down here, and this area over here says that it's 60 and 70, about 70% humidity. So that's what it says in this area. But this area tends to be a cooler area. A little cooler, but it still gets some sun, and it's got the little LED right here with a big LED. But it tends to be a little bit cooler in this area. It's a little pocket by the door that goes into the house. So it's kind of a little cooler in the summer and in the winter as well. Oh, that's a nice growth up there. That's my Hawaiian Virgin song, I guess. There's those buds that are still there. That's my Vespa, of course. Just got that. Can't claim that. It's the new growth there. That's my Trichocentrum tigrina. But yeah, there's some stuff down there, but I'm not gonna walk down there. And yeah. So hopefully that answered your question. But I'm sure that 60 degrees there, it's probably down this area, I would say it's probably not much above 60, maybe 62. Vespa is a scooter. Totally a scooter. The OG scooter, that's the original. And I think this is gonna be okay, despite how ugly it looks and the leaves falling off every day. I think the bulbs are still very firm, and this is something that I'm still trying to battle. This is another, well, it is a bucket list plant for me, but it's going to be a bucket list plant that I can't grow, that I'm gonna give up on. This actually, I got this summer from Ecuador, I think. Yeah, and it did really well. Put up these new growths. Well, this one that blasted, and then then it just really lost its roots. It seems like the roots are not doing so well, but the growths just became very, it's like they were, this is Areopsis biloba. It has a very beautiful flower, very waxy. It gets a spike from the bottom, and then at the top are green and orange flowers that are very nice, very colorful. But I still almost have hopes for this plant, because despite these two pseudobulbs, well, it's just not maintaining the moisture. That's what it's doing. I don't. I've had several of these, and this is the first time that I've grown these on mounts, and the same thing seems to be happening where they put up growths, and the growths get to be certain size, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, they just blast. Even if I stop watering the plant, they still blast. And you can see I really hadn't watered this plant because a few weeks ago, all of these canes, even this cane, they were all flopped over. They were all like this. I mean, this is more firm. They're all actually more firm than they were a few weeks ago because I completely put it away out of any line of water or anything, except for mist, no water. And so it does seem like they're firming up a little bit, especially this one but if this one continues, I mean, I don't know if it's because these have been treated. We will see. But it is Areopsis biloba. So yeah, that is that. Wish I could show you more things, but it's not the time. It's not the time. It's not the time. But I am excited for this, though, as much as it can be a Phalaenopsis. But you can see it is a recovering Phalaenopsis, and at one time it was pretty big. But what happened, which is the same thing as what happened with this area over here. I had plants that were above it, which were getting misted, and then they would drip down onto the plant leaves and the foliage, and then the foliage would, get the water spots, and then they would eventually just turn yellow and then die, which is what's happening here. So I'm going to have to do something with that, I've moved the plants down, so I think I've solved that problem. But that's what happened to this, and this is a very nice Phalaenopsis from Norman's. It has like a very subtle edge around. Yeah, I don't have catasetums. I've tried with those, and I just don't have the knack for them, I guess. I just don't. I thought that I could, but again, it was one of those things. I tried catasetums on maybe 2 or 3 occasions, and I did get one to bloom one year, a Moniera Millennium Magic, but then it just seemed like the subsequent bulbs just didn't do so well. I mean, they got nice size, but the spikes, one year I got like an albino spike. It came out white, and it never produced blooms. And the next year, the pseudobulb was kind of funky, and it just, and that was kind of what happened to some of the other catasetums that I had. I actually got one for $5 somewhere. I don't know. I think I won a raffle, and it was $5. And it was a little teeny thing. No, it was 50 cents. And I think it was like this big. That sucker, I had that thing for 4 years, and that thing bloomed. No, maybe it was 3 years, and it bloomed. And then the year after it bloomed, I tell you, it died. And I don't understand why. So after that, after babying this little baby catasetum, I was just like, enough is enough. Enough is enough with that. Sorry to say, bye-bye catasetums. I mean, I love looking at them, and, they do interest me. Some of them do. I mean, there again, I'm kind of picky about some of them. Some of those Peleonums, they kind of freak me out. Not Peleonum. Yeah, maybe it is Peleonum. The ones, I think it's, I can't really remember now whether they're the male flowers. Anyway, it's the ones that look like they have hoods on. It's just freaky, very freaky. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. I just, why waste my money? I might as well. The things that I like to grow, which are angraecums, they're expensive enough. So if I'm going to kill something, I'll just kill one of those. That's bad. So hopefully everyone is having a good weekend. I might head off of here for today and continue doing some things because I only have one hand right now, so it's kind of hard for me to do anything. But I'll make sure that I come back tomorrow and maybe I'll have some more to show you. Maybe some more open blooms. Yeah, it was nice chatting with you, Dimitri. I'm still trying to figure out how to get myself down there, whether I can turn off my Wi-Fi and then my cell plan takes. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out because I really need to be down there as well, especially since I've had some disasters and I have half of my collection is down there. So I really need to be down there. And this is another something that I'm really keeping my eye on, and that's my Harveyanum, which is looking kind of bad. The leaves are getting a little yellow, but my understanding is that they get a little bit of a rest in the wintertime, still giving them some mistings, and hopefully that would be okay. Yeah, I guess pseudopodiums are catasetum types. But you know what? To be honest, I guess I do grow catasetum types because here's a catasetum type. Here's one for you, Dimitri. Here's one. My Galliandra. This is a catasetum type. Technically, it is. Even though not precisely the same, but generally you can follow the same catasetum cultural rules with a few minor adjustments. I have that one. I have two of them actually. Two Galliandras. So this one's smaller, baby. Yeah, it is sort of, but you can't give them a rest. That's been my biggest failure is reading books that say dry winter's rest and giving them a dry winter's rest. And that was what Galliandra and catasetums, you don't water them when they're in dormancy. But with Galliandras, you have to keep giving them water because this is actually, their bloom season is coming up pretty soon. So this might actually bloom for me coming up in the new year. So, but you still have to give it moisture. You can't just let it sit there until you see a new growth or until the roots get to be 3 inches long or whatever. You cannot. That plant will die, unfortunately. So yeah, I guess I do have some catasetum types. I do. Whether I want to or not, I do. And this is an example of a Paphiopedilum gone bad. I do if the plant is a moisture-loving plant like this plant. I do because I think that plant, especially because of the amount of blooms that it had, I think it still needed moisture, especially at the roots, for the spikes to come through and develop properly. A lot of the times, as far as in my experience, I think some of these plants, not all of them, and that is another trial and error thing, but some plants depend on increased water when they're blooming or when they're in bud. In my experience, some do. If you stop watering them, those buds will blast. So that's just in my experience. But I think that's depending on the environment that you grow things in and other factors. So, but don't listen to me. Use your own judgment. There are pros, as far as I'm concerned. There are pros here in this chat, especially you, Todd. But yeah, I am going to head off of here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, hopefully. And enjoy your orchids, everyone. Enjoy your orchids. Bye.